For years, this has been the lightest camp chair on the market. It's the Helinox Chair Zero, weighing in at 1 pound 2 ounces. But did you know that REI makes a lighter version now? The Flexlite Air chair weighs in at 1 pound 1 ounce and under a pound without the bag. It's now the lightest camp chair on the market. I finally pulled the trigger and I bought both, and I'm gonna try them out today and compare them and give you my first impressions. Hey y'all, my name is Adam and this is Dad Camps, where I talk about camping, backpacking, and gear, and all from the perspective of being a dad. If you're into that too, go ahead and hit subscribe. So I've happily used the old REI Flexlite chair for years. It weighs close to 2 pounds, and every trip I would wonder if it was worth the extra $100 to spring for the Helinox Chair Zero to save the extra pound or not. Then REI came out with the new Flexlite Air, and I bought it on a sale and got a deal on it, so I decided to try it out. But I was still wondering if the Chair Zero is better or not. So I couldn't resist just getting both and comparing the two of them. So first impressions, just in the bags. I was actually really surprised to feel the difference that the Chair Zero just feels much smaller and compacter. You can kind of see the size difference here. The Chair Zero definitely seems to be more compact. It's shorter. You can kind of squeeze the Flexlite down some, so it's not a significant difference, but it definitely is noticeable how much smaller the Chair Zero is. So let's open them up and take a look. First we'll do the Flexlite Air. Nice, smooth material there. So this is interesting. I was concerned about this. I saw a review on Justin Outdoors channel where he talked about how the corners of the seat seemed to be not reinforced whatsoever, and they were just the same kind of material as the seat. Seems like they have corrected that, and now there's a heavier material where the chair is going to push into. And even this little socket here is definitely a thicker material than what the actual seat is made out of. So that's good to see. So let's open up the Chair Zero. Like the opening here, we got it. Comes with directions. The bracing on these is significantly thinner, so you can tell why this is able to pack down smaller. Is these the poles are much skinnier on the Chair Zero. Material feels maybe a little more durable on the Chair Zero. Now the pocket on here seems even more reinforced compared to the Flexlite Air. There's definitely a much heavier duty backing there, and it seems to be sewed more in multiple places compared to the Flexlite Air. So definitely more reinforced and appears to be much more durable on the Chair Zero. All right, let's go ahead and set them up for the first time and see how it goes. First, the Flexlite Air. Not too bad. Next, we'll do the Chair Zero. Okay. So, slightly harder time with the Chair Zero there. The over-enforced corners there do make it a little bit more difficult to get the pole in there, and it does seem a little bit more tight, but still about the same. All right, so let's give them both a try and see how they feel. All right, first, the Chair Zero. Feels very cozy, very comfy. Feels loose a little bit. Feels like, doesn't feel super confident sitting in it. I do feel like I can lean back.
Laid back. With my mind on my money and my money on my back.
However, it doesn't feel like very far before you reach the tipping point. Stretching legs out. There's a little bit of tension there, but pretty comfortable stretching your legs out there like that. All right, now for the Flexlite Air. Definitely a different feel. It feels much sturdier when you sit down into it. It feels like it can support my weight. I'm about 195, 6'2", and doesn't seem to shift around as much. It feels much sturdier, which I think is probably likely due to those thicker poles. Not at all. I could see, I've heard some complaints about the tension under your thighs right here, under your hamstrings right here, where it can kind of cut off the circulation when you have your legs kicked out like that. I could see that. It doesn't seem to be as bad as what I've heard and read, but there is more tension here, I would say, than the Chair Zero. However, it's a little bit easier to get a little bit further down in the seat in the Air compared to the Zero, so that you can kind of keep that seam right up against your butt versus being, cutting off in the middle of your hamstrings there. I would say the Zero feels better on the recline when you're kind of sitting back like this. The same thing, this is very taut and you can feel that seam, that edge right across the back. It's not as comfortable. The Chair Zero seems to support all in one piece a little bit better. One thing I've been worried about with the Air is the configuration of the feet. And yeah, if you lean back, you definitely wiggle. You lose a little bit of stability there. It starts to get a little wonky. So if you like to kick back in your chair, yeah, see, that's not gonna work. You can't really kick back on the back legs of the chair in the Air, which is interesting because I've always loved the REI Flexlite original because it has that same design as the Chair Zero, where the legs are angled forward and back. I learned that is actually something that Helinox patented. So now Helinox owns a patent on the direction of the legs of this kind of folding camp chair. So if you see other ones on the market out there that are in this direction, it's actually a patent infringement. And so that's why REI had to change their configuration to do this side to side, which must say I'm a little disappointed in, because I do like to kick back in my chair. Okay, so here's my biggest takeaway right out the gate. It really is that lounging aspect, and I'll try to show you from this angle. If you're just sitting in the chair straight up like this, the Flexlite Air definitely feels more sturdy. It feels more just kind of snug and durable and not as loosey-goosey. But once if you want to do this, if you really like to kick your legs out or recline a little bit, you can see it's not very comfortable. It's like cutting into my back right here, as well as in my leg. It's not going to be comfortable for very long like that. I suppose if you had like a log, it might be, yeah, that's a little better. But in general, the Helinox feels much more comfortable for the lounging aspect. I'll demonstrate. So yeah, kicking your legs out there, the seat kind of cups a little bit more, probably due to those poles being a little more flexible, so it gives a little bit more around your legs. And then yeah, kicking back, you don't get that cutting into your back. It's more of a full pressure kind of cupping around your back there. This kind of comes in right around your rib cage, and kind of more fully supports you. You can kick back slightly if you want to rock, you know, if you're a fidgeter, restless leg kind of guy, and you want to rock, you definitely can. Just can't go too far. Let's see. That's not bad, actually. Actually can go further than it feels. So you can definitely rock, which you cannot do in Flexlite Air. It feels way too loosey-goosey because due to that leg configuration. So if you really value the lounging, it may be worth it. If you're more of a straight sitter, more like this, honestly, the Flexlite Air I think is more comfortable for just straight up sitting like this. It may come down to if you prefer the straight up posture versus the lounge. So if weight is a priority for you, and I don't know who weight would not be a priority for, that's not true. I do know some people that don't seem to care, but that's beside the point. If you care about weight, then these are really the only two options to compare between, because you're going to gain about another pound to spend a little bit less at the next model up. So let's talk pricing. So the Flexlite Air retails at $100. I got it on sale for $79, and the Chair Zero retails now at $150. For years it was $130 retail, and I'm kicking myself for not buying it when it was cheaper. But the price actually fluctuates quite a bit over time. If you look at it on Amazon, actually click the link below and go see what the price is today. I've seen it down as low as $100 recently, and if you see it on there and it's $130, that's a good deal. Go ahead and get it if you're interested. If you see it down at $100, just buy it right now, don't wait. Or you can wait till you get a 20% off coupon at REI, and you could get it for $120. All right, so overall impressions. I was actually really surprised at the comfort of the Chair Zero. And compared to the original REI Flexlite, the Flexlite Air is significantly less comfortable. So I expected the Flexlite Air to be comparable to how the Flexlite was to sit in. It's definitely not as comfortable or easy to sit in. Part of that could be the leg configuration, because I have the old model of the Flexlite that has the patented leg configuration of the Helinox. So with the old Flexlite Air, you could rock back and forth. So it could be part of it, but in general, the actual chair itself seemed to feel more comfortable to sit in. So I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest, on the Flexlite Air comfort level. And I did not expect to think that. I thought they would be very close, and I would say that the Helinox Chair Zero was not worth the price, but now I'm debating it, and I kind of feel like it is, because if you're going to have something that's going to last you for several years, why not spend a little bit of extra money and get the one that's going to be comfortable and you get a lot of good use and mileage out of. In addition, the Helinox Chair Zero definitely does feel much more compact. So, you know, when you're packing up that bag, it's going to feel much easier and nicer to slip that thing in versus the bulkier Flexlite or Flexlite Air. On top of that, the durability does seem better on the Chair Zero, so the extra money might pay off in longevity. Like I said, REI seems to have reinforced theirs compared to initial versions that they put out, but the Chair Zero definitely appears to be reinforced in the right areas. So one quick note on the specs. Even though I said that the Chair Zero felt less sturdy, felt a little bit more loosey-goosey, after looking it up, the Chair Zero actually has a higher weight capacity than the Flexlite Air, which is impressive with the skinnier poles. So the Flexlite Air weight capacity is 250 pounds, and the Chair Zero max capacity is 265 pounds. So makes you think that even though it may feel a little bit looser, it may hold up better over time. So overall first impressions, honestly, I think the Helinox takes it. I think that's gonna definitely be the preferred go-to, but I'm gonna be checking these out and trying them out in the field this year. So If you want to follow along and see how they end up, hit subscribe, and I'll keep you posted on how they perform out in the backcountry. And if you're planning a backpacking trip coming up and you're looking for ways to shave some weight, check out this video I made on top essentials that you don't need to be packing.